So, this is about Pamela Carty. I need to mention that I was listening to a television show that was very loud, and it was about killing, and the guy I'm staying with was sound asleep, despite the fact that it was blaring. So, I decided to try to get some sleep, and I wanted to make a short video. I ended up making it very short because I turned off the TV hoping I could get some sleep, and I started making the video, and he woke up. And now he's playing video games downstairs and listening to that comedy stuff, which it's his right, it's his house. Dang, it's gonna keep on doing that, isn't it? Anyway, so I got a thing on my phone that said that I got a message, and of course on my phone it doesn't show me all of it. It just said, well, I wrote this to Pamela Carty on November 9th. That's when I got out of jail in, what's that county? Larimer County. I typed, Pamela, I gave you my email address repeatedly. You were supposed to send me everything on my court dates and all the minutes, and so on. I have yet to receive a single email from you. You haven't even tried to get that information to me. I need every single document relating to my case. Now, this is the part that I got today. It didn't say that it was from Pamela Carty, though. It said it was from another gentleman, and I'll show you that in just a minute. It says, Hello, Sean. I was waiting to hear from you that you are no longer in jail. I am very glad that you are not. The minute orders you wanted are the ones I provided to you while in court. If there is something more specific you need, let me know exactly what it is. The discovery in your case is attached. Now, mind you, since it was sent from another person's email address, is what it was telling me, I responded to that. And then I went back up and scrolled through it up to the top and realized all this other stuff is up here. So, let's scroll down a bit. Oh shit, I need to take my mouse out of my pocket and turn it on. Anyway, I am upstairs where it's freezing. Here's the stuff that I definitely need to go through. I mean, like I said, there's a shit ton of stuff to go through. And I sent this to a few different people. It's from Steve McCrohan. It says, Mr. Schwartz, David Kaplan forwarded me a voice message you left him asking for information and records from your case. I have attached numerous documents that Ms. McCarthy has previously sent you. I am unsure what additional records and or documents you are requesting. If you would like to come to our office to obtain copies of your client file, please let me know and we can schedule an appointment for you. Copies are 5 cents per page and $1 per CD or DVD. I don't have any money, alright? These people's negligence is fucking beyond reason. It really is. Anyway, the part that I got to see was this part from Pamela, but it says it's sent from Steve McCrohan, who I have called repeatedly. So I wrote to him. It says, to Stephen. Let's see if it'll focus. Alright, you screwy piece of shit. I don't give a god. You didn't give me a goddamn thing in court. You never went to court with me, because I think I'm replying to Stephen. I think that he's the one at this point that wrote this stuff up here. Fuck it. We'll just read it. Alright, you screwy piece of shit. You didn't give me a goddamn thing in court. You never went to court with me. The only interaction we had was when you and Pamela Carty were threatening to have me committed for threatening to sue you for not doing your fucking jobs. I wasn't allowed to have access to any of this because Pamela repeatedly did not show up, did not do her job, and made every effort to help the prosecution. I was prevented from having access to the information because of safety reasons, according to both you and Pamela, because I was in jail. I have called over 30 times to your office since being released over a year ago. You illegally withheld this information by every means in order to prevent me from taking you to court for negligence. In addition, Pamela Cardi outright lied to me repeatedly blindsided me with information she should have met with me about before court, and coaxed me into lying to the judge only days after that judge refused to allow me to fire Pamela Cardi. Your office made no effort to contact witnesses, collect the evidence stolen by the officers, or to defend me in any way, shape, or form. Your fucking bullshit about waiting until you knew I was out of jail went out of the goddamned window the first time I recorded the phone call to your receptionist and your answering machine and posted it on YouTube almost a year ago, along with several more since then. I require a record of every fucking day that I had court, who my public pretender was on those days, and why Pamela Cardi did not show up for my pretrial, as well as why I was not informed of the fact that the charges should have been dropped days prior, when the time limit for holding my pretrial was already overdue, and you and Pamela not only ignored the physical and psychological torture by the jail staff, you also took part in it. Instead of lying to me in an email, send me the goddamned information I am entitled to by law. I was not allowed access to any of the above information and only got to read a small part of it because Pamela left it on the rail in front of me while she was talking to another client. What you have done isn't just criminal, it is felonious, and your excuses are outright lies. And I have recordings that prove you and multiple attorneys in your office knew and did nothing. The last conversation I had with your receptionist is recorded and public on YouTube and shows that she made repeated excuses as well. You are a crook who is wasting taxpayer dollars. Now, mind you, I did make a mistake because I was reading it on my phone and it only showed that part up at the very top. So I admitted that immediately on this video. I also wrote him another one just to make a good explanation of it. I need the records of every court date I went to. I need the names of the public pretenders. Sorry if it's getting shaky, I'm cold. Names of the public pretenders from each court date, including the ones with Kathleen M. Jansky. I need the name of the judge I had on October 15th of 2018 who prevented me from firing Pamela Cardi. I need the name of the prosecutor who tore up my plea agreement in court in front of the judge, myself, and Pamela. These were psychological torture techniques. Pamela Cardi did not inform me of my disability money being taken, or the fact that I had warrants out for my arrest due to the fact that she did not inform the other courts that I was incarcerated until we were called to the stand. When I tried to fire Pamela, the judge refused to allow me to do so. Pamela whispered something to the prosecutor, and she tore up my plea agreement, an agreement I only agreed to because Pamela Cardi had repeatedly not shown up for appointments, repeatedly not shown up in court, had not gone over any evidence with me, had not allowed me to see the evidence, had wasted our 2 appointments together, sending me into panic attack by threatening to have me committed for telling her I was going to sue her for not doing her job along with you on one of those dates. Had not called any of the witnesses or requisitioned for the evidence stolen by Brian Valenzuela. had ignored the abuse against me by the jail guards and other inmates and had pretended to be in a car accident on the day of my pretrial, where a replacement public pretender told me he could not defend me, was not going to look at evidence, and neglected to inform me that the charges should have been dropped almost a week earlier because my pretrial was legally well overdue when he had me sign away my rights to a pretrial hearing under false pretenses. 2 days later, Pamela Cardi and another public pretender coached me in what lies to tell the judge in order to get released, and told me I let me see, was not going, let me see, where was I? I would not be sent to jail in Larimer over the FTA because I was in custody in Arapahoe County. I agreed to do so only if the FTA was taken care of on On my birthday, October 18th, 2018, Pamela informed me that the FTA warrant, that the FTA warrant was gone, and with the same judge who denied me the right to fire Pamela 3 days earlier, that judge knowing full well that I had been coached because I was prevented from firing Pamela. Let me see, where am I? And had been prevented from speaking on my own behalf at every court date. Pamela lied outright to prevent me from filing charges against all of you, and I was not released. The FTA warrant was not gone, and I was forced to endure more torture at the hands of police. Your office and public pretenders did nothing to defend me at any point, made no effort to show up at court dates where I could have shown evidence and shown the wrongdoing of officers Kara Miles, the Bolligers, Ken Wilson, Leah Plunkett, Don Bird, and made zero effort to acquire the evidence illegally stolen by police. While multiple agencies took part in preventing evidence from being shown, slandered my name repeatedly across multiple jurisdictions, and harassed me, assaulted me, drugged me, and refused to allow me to write a report in multiple jurisdictions, yet allowed Kara Johnson Miles to write one from Texas, Don Bird, Ken Wilson, Leah Plunkett, and my other predators too. I require that to do so, and I was told I couldn't talk about or show any evidence that wasn't in jurisdiction or call witnesses that weren't in jurisdiction, as Pamela Cardi was involved with my civil case in Adams County. I require that information to be sent to me as well. My safety was put at greater risk by your intentional neglect, and I cannot travel to the state of Colorado for my own safety as a result. Having to travel to Colorado and pay money I don't have for information you can send via email is not acceptable. Now that's the thing, is that when I was supposed to be released from jail, Mandy Hughes was supposed to pick me up. Now, there was a court date that Mandy Hughes showed up for. Because Mandy Hughes had shown up, they changed my court date. That made me feel like shit, and it made Mandy feel like shit. Now, that's something that's recorded in those phone calls between me and Mandy. If Mandy is telling the truth in those messages, or in those videos between her and I, then these guys need to go fucking down. Now, the other thing is that Shannon Alvarado had sent me information about Kara Johnson, aka Kara Miles. She has a different last name now, as well as being somebody that I was in contact with. Well, those screenshots that are up there, I'll have to show them to you because that's some pretty important information. It shows the slander, some of it, but I also need the reading of the minutes, the actual things that were said in court, and there have to be recordings of that. They record in those court dates. They record what the judge says. They record what I say. They record what Pamela Cardi said. So that needs to be shown. I'd really like to be sleeping right now, but I'd also like to have an honest court date. The thing is that I can't make these people do their jobs. The only way that these people were going to do their jobs is if somebody showed that they cared. If somebody cares, then it shows that they have to be afraid of being sued. If not, it's business as usual. They assume that any homeless person is guilty and they work together to make sure that that homeless person makes them more money. Fuck the police. Fuck the government. Fuck Kara Miles, fuck the Bollingers, fuck Ken Wilson, fuck Leah Plunkett, fuck Don Bird, and fuck all of the goddamn public pretenders that I had to deal with. Fuck them all.